This is Ming. Wait, where is it? There we go, we kinda migrated. These are the typical Chinese borders in 1490s with a tributary swarm, and this is also a colonial run. We went with the exploration ideas and we're going for the New World Expedition's Celestial Reform. So yeah, it's a really fun one and I hope you enjoy watching it. Let's go. It's time, Ming, and it's going to be a different campaign from my last one because we're going colonial in this run. We're not only going to focus on the Empire of China stuff, but establish a huge colonial empire as Ming. We will start with our estates. Now for Shaizu, we can grant clerical ministers for yearly harmony increase as well as institutionalized Shaizu, as this will give us 5 harmony every 20 years with a national decision. And it's going to be super important for us to get as much harmony as possible because we're not actually going to convert any of our provinces, even though we have various religions such as Theravada, Vajrayana, Animist. We're going to harmonize these religions and get amazing bonuses. For example, with a pagan group, we can get national unrest reduction, and we will start doing this once we have around 90 to 100 harmony, as otherwise we would fall to low harmony, which would give us some really bad penalties. Now, additionally, let's grant oversight for additional loyalty. Religious diplomats. To Qinhuang, we will be granting right of council and supremacy over the crown once again for the loyalty. And to Shangbang, we can go with the loans. We can take indebted to the Shangbang loans. And one thing worth noting is that if you have 5 loans or more, you will be getting a penalty for mandate growth. So basically, to fix this, we will be repaying 1 loan, and this means we can have 4 loans with 1% interest, and that's a lot of cash. Now let's also go with Shangbang economic freedom, promote Shangbang bookkeeping and financial demand for the national tax modifier. It's pretty big actually because we get a lot of money from taxation in early parts of the campaign. And we're going to combine this with the eunuch's privilege single whip law with another 59% tax modifier, which is related to the land ownership. And that's going to be the only privilege that we grant to the eunuchs, because basically we will be trying to have them under control as we already have 94 influence. So we can summon the diet and go for whichever option here. I usually like to go for one of these base production options to get a lot of money. Seize lands, we're up to 20%, and basically we will be trying to get our crown lands to 50% as soon as possible, because we also have reform the administration national decision. This is super important to pass this 5 times. Of course, this costs 50 gov reform progress and 2 stability each time we do it, but once we have this done, our economy will be greatly boosted, because as it is with administrative overextension, we get plus 25 minimum autonomy in all of our provinces, which as you can see gives you a lot of negative modifiers. Okay, let's start spending that sweet money. We can go for the discipline advisor. Let's go with trade efficiency and yearly inflation reduction, because this way we can actually get the radical reforms. And actually, let's just go ahead and boost all of them to level 2 at least, and focus on admin points most importantly, because in this campaign we will be losing stability through various events, decisions, so we will be spending a lot of admin points. Speaking of which, we have a ton of subjects, so what we can do is ask them to give us some monarch points instead of money. And mainly, we will be requesting them to give us admin points. We can also go ahead and get some Diplo in here. And from the weaker vassals who are too small to give us monarch points, we will be requesting manpower instead of money as well. Let's select our naval doctrine. We will be going with Chinese treasure fleet, which increases colonial range, trade range, and treasure fleet income by 25%. We can also go ahead and upgrade some centers of trade to level 2s, because we have quite a few of those and we really don't have where to spend this money otherwise. So this way we're boosting our economy from day 1. Now, if we go over to our national decisions, we can also seek support from the clergy to get additional harmony. Select our one and only available rival, which is Ashikaga, and we can go ahead and use our diplomats. I will be building spy network on Kam, who is going to be our second target, as the first one is going to be the Oired Horde. And we're going to improve relations with Daivir, because we will need 150 relations for one of our missions. Ming has a super big and fun mission tree, and one super fun thing about these missions is that you can complete them in different ways. Usually you have the ability to do it diplomatically or via conquest. For example, if we take the 13 provinces mission, which requires us to improve relations with the Vietnamese, with the diplomatic stance we can get 10 additional mandate, and basically every single time we will be trying to get mandate from various decisions and missions, as we obviously want to pass as many celestial reforms as we can and get a ton of amazing bonuses. Definitely looking forward to this new world expeditions bonus. bonus, for which we will need an Explorer, 50 light ships, and we will be getting an additional colonist. Okay, you guys need to move here because we will be using you for the Oirats. And we need to get a general, so hopefully, yes, free shock, that's actually pretty damn good. We will be making our ruler a general as well, and we won't be using him in battles because if we lose a battle with him equipped on an army, Oirat will be getting an event which will turn him very powerful, and we're trying to avoid that. Another thing we're trying to avoid is then occupying Beijing. And basically in this first war, we're trying to avoid Oirat in flat terrain such as drylands, and we will be fighting them in deserts, mountains, wherever they don't get additional shock damage boost. Okay, so this is pretty early. The eunuchs of the Ming Empire. So yes, we will not be going for the second option, which will give us a stability point, but we will be going with their power must be curbed, as this will change the requirements for cornerstone of an empire mission, and this way we will be getting the alternative bonus with Expand Palace Bureaucracy Decree given an additional 20% advisor cost reduction. The -2 stability does hurt a little bit though, so we will try and restore this as soon as we can. Look at this money that we're getting from taxation now with our new privileges that we granted to the estates. It basically doubled, it went from 24 to 44. And okay guys, it's the 11th of December, so let's go. Declare war, force tributary state. Now it's a bit unfortunate that we have to fight Sarigyogur as well, because they already are our subject. So we might let them go or maybe make them our tributary once again, we'll see. And looks like Sarig yogurt's days are counted. It's an expired yogurt, that's for sure. Just gonna grab a very quick white piece. Oh wow, that's super early for radical reforms. But this is the joy of getting yearly inflation reduction and trade efficiency advisors, which we're going to fire right now to make sure that we don't lose them as we select this last option, which is going to give us 200 admin and diplo points. And once again, we're just going to hire them back. Now let's use these admin points to restore our stability. And I don't appreciate these guys sieging down Beijing, and we will need a larger army than 15,000 because this is flat terrain and they have super strong army with 5 shock general, even though it's only 9,000. And I would like another general. Hey, that's a good one. 2 siege. It's going to be perfect for us to siege down Kobdo, their capital. And since they have their entire army pretty much here, we can wreak havoc here. So we're going to just go ahead and siege down every single province. Nah, you guys are so dead now. You're so dead. It fortunately was a wipe, although we did lose quite a few soldiers. We will be losing quite a bit of manpower, so what I will do is just consolidate regiments. Let's continue going. Hopefully they won't get this capital at like 7% before we reach this. Nah, we're good, we're good. There we go. Take some of this, son. Okay guys, we completed the mission of the 13 provinces as we have enough relations with Daviet, so this is going to give us 10 mandate and 100 diplo points because we completed this diplomatically. I'm just going to take it right now. We're nearly maxed out with the mandate, so after this war we're immediately passing our first reform. Well, that was easy, 92% war score, and we can actually take everything that we need. So we're making them a tributary and taking 3 provinces which are a part of our state in Ordos. This is not necessary, you don't need to take these, especially if you're a new player, you might have a hard time in this first war. It's pretty much the toughest war of the Ming campaign. So if you don't want to drag it out for too long, you can just make them a tributary, this way you won't need to get that much war score, but I prefer to take this, so I'm just going to do that. Okay guys, now let's go ahead and pass our first reform. It's going to be civil registration and it's going to give us 5% dev cost reduction as well as autonomy change cooldown -20%. And let's get a decree as well. Development cost and court creation cost -10% for 20 meritocracy. And now it will be a bit cheaper for us to court these new provinces. Also, once again, just boost stability. I'm going to spend a few ducats to bestow gifts for Oirat, so they're loyal. And let's go complete a mission, the Nomadic Frontier, which is going to allow us to recruit banner regiments for 25 years. I've seen people ask about this before, how the hell do you get banners as Ming? Well, this is pretty much the only way to do it. In these 25 years, you want to make sure to get all the banners that you can, because later on you won't be able to recruit them. Okay, next up, we want to take care of our rebels, so we're going to follow whichever province they're going to spawn in, and we're going to prepare for our next war, which is going to be Kam. Even though we have low mandate and we have debuffs, nations such as Kam, we can easily take them down, it's not that big of a deal. But of course we don't want to participate in some difficult wars when we have low mandate. And actually I forgot to put these ships to protect trade, so you please go to Hangzhou. Might be asking why the hell are we attacking Kam when we can just click this button and establish them as a tributary. Well, the reason is that we're trying to extend our borders so we can reach more nations, and as we border more nations it means even more tributaries. And as you can see right now we're getting 0.13 mandate growth from tributaries alone, so the more we have the more mandate we will be getting, and it's going to be easier to pass the reforms. With that being said, let's go ahead and declare Forced Tributary State. Unfortunately, once again, we have to fight one of our tributaries, Karadel. Let's see, maybe we can actually break their alliance before we start this. And yes, indeed we can, so definitely gonna do that. Maybe we could have done with Sarigyogur as well. So if you guys go for this campaign, make sure to try it out. If Oirat does ally Sarigyogur, you might be able to just break their alliance. Sang, please, we're like the best buddies, right? Give me mill access real quick. I gotta beat somebody up next to your border. That's not bad, some additional reduced unrest, sure. Here we go, we're efficiently taking down the rebels, so these separatists cannot occupy the provinces and in return give them separatism, which would mean more rebels would spawn. Essentially, we're stopping a nasty cycle that would continue happening, and we actually occupied you. No, not you, the nation you. So please just give us some ducats and you can go, you're free. So this is our peace deal, tributary state and 2 provinces, and we can take their money too. Beautiful. This means that we bordered Sang, so we're going to cancel the mill access and we're going to attack them next. But before we start the next war, we're waiting until the end of 1449, as this is when we can seize more crown lands. And now let's actually go ahead and develop this province a couple of times so we can complete our agenda too. Let's upgrade the center of trade to a level 3. Reason why you want to keep some reserved cash as Ming, you will be getting some natural disasters such as floods, earthquakes, and for example in this case we can either lose 5 mandate or 480 ducats, and if we didn't have money this would mean that we're taking out more loans and that would make us lose mandate. So every time in these events we're just going for the ducats loss and pretty much not worry about anything. Okay, there we go, 25% crown lands. Let's keep going, you're going down, son. Can we co-belligerent? We can co-belligerent Guj. Maybe we will take some additional stuff. Let's go and get a bigger navy. Let's build some light ships. We eventually will, after all, need 50 light ships to get that juicy additional colonist. So we're gonna make you a tributary because we cannot take these provinces directly in any case. And if we want to get a pathway over to Bengal, we can do this through nations like Gorkha, for example. That'll do. We're gonna do the same with Limbuan. And guys, the classic Ming experience begins. Tax barges sink. We're losing 500 ducats. Actually, it might be more worth to just get 2 inflation. That doesn't really impact us too negatively. And the Yangtze River flood, the most amazing event you can get. 10 mandate loss, 2 stability, and every province across the Yangtze River with more than 15 development will suffer loss of development and get 30 devastation. And as you might know, devastation also reduces mandate growth. We're now getting 0.18 in the minus. And if we take a look into the devastation map mode, these are the affected provinces. So the good thing is that they have forts with them. And this means that the devastation is reduced 10 times faster. If let's say these provinces didn't have forts around, then we would be developing them, as this is another way to reduce devastation. Okay, so we can take this amazing peace deal making Sang our tributary. We're taking full annexation of Guj. We could also make them a tributary, but they have a gold mine. I want to take that first of all. And the second of all, it's gonna open us 2 paths. We can go to Ladakh or we can go straight for Yarkand this way. It's pretty important as we don't have a path from the northern side. Thank you very much for that. And we have the mission deal with the Karma Kagyu completed because Sang is our subject now. Because Lhasa is owned by our tributary, we will be getting 5 mandate, and as long as they stay a tributary, we get Tibetan Horse Monopoly with reduced cavalry costs and increased cav flanking ability. So essentially this is until the end of the game. And we're getting 10 prosperity progress in the state of East Gansu and some decent development, as well as this event, Steadfast Defender, which allows us to get a General Yu Chan, who's really good with 4 shock and 1 siege, or we can get some yearly army professionalism, but of course we're going with the mandate. Guys, right now we have a ton of money, so what we're going to do is build a lot of buildings. Let's go ahead and get some temples. This will greatly boost our economy, and we're pretty much just going to leave ourselves with around 500 ducats so that we have some funds in case of some negative events and we can pay it off instead of losing mandate and getting loans. There's also quite a few rebels that we're taking care of before we participate in wars, and our next war actually is going to be versus Sarigyogur because they're a tributary of Mogulistan and it looks like it's not the perfect overlord that they wished for. So we're going to, let's say, unify China here right quick. And while we're at it, let's make a stronger army. Let's go ahead and get 7 of these available banners. I'm actually going to get a mercenary company as well. This costs 200 ducats. Considering we're earning like 30 ducats a month, we should be fine with this amount of money. There it is. We can seize lands one more time. We're up to 30% crown lands. Apparently we can also lose 1 corruption, and we don't have that much of it. So what we're going to do is debase currency so that this doesn't go to waste. And this means we will be able to get a little bit of free money. Okay guys, it's time. Time to join our glorious empire. Oh man, that's so bad. Isolation of Kijan. Mandate loss or 15 meritocracy. That's a huge amount. Oh well. And again, plague strikes the court. And actually this time we cannot even avoid losing mandate. Now this is insane. Our meritocracy is going to be down to 39. Oh my goodness. This is pretty much the worst start I had with Ming. This is absolutely just no words for that. 19 rebels as well in Beijing. Oh crap. Okay, this is done. Thank you for joining us. We can select our second government reform, and we're going for the tax modifier because we're earning 48 ducats from taxation right now, so this is going to be quite a nice boost. And straight up it goes from 48 to almost 53, so almost 5 ducats from this reform. Okay, we need to develop this a couple of times. 300 additional ducats. We're gonna continue building a lot of temples. Let's go. Yeah, so we can select a new decree, but I think we will stay without one for a bit because our meritocracy is just way too low and it would cost another 20. Interesting. Ladakh is a tributary of Mongolistan. And I really want to start expanding in this direction, but Mongolistan actually has some really annoying alliances. Kazan, Uzbek, and Malva. That's a bit much. What I would like to do is avoid these alliances, so we can make a claim on Ladakh, we can attack them, and pretty much use that war to get Mongholistan's alliances ended. Okay, we can select our Age of Discovery ability. We're gonna go with Justified Wars for aggressive expansion impact reduction. As Ming, you get a lot of splendor because you pretty much start with control centers of trade and a large city, so it's easy to pass a lot of these bonuses. We're nearly up to 50 mandates, so the debuffs that we're getting are not that significant anymore, and we're good to go. We're gonna go after Ladakh. Obviously, not co-belligerent in Mongolistan. Let's just go in. Occupy their capital real quick. Oh wow, he's actually going after us. Let's see. He retreated. That's nice. I was afraid that he's actually going to beat us up. That's a super good advisor that we're getting. Natural scientist 50% cheaper, as well as 5 meritocracy. Love it. Immediately we can recruit him. Oh no, you bastard. This guy with a 5 shock. Oh my god. I don't think we can stop him. We're probably going to lose an army here. I'm just gonna let these soldiers die. Well, that's only 2,000, so there's that. Okay, what do we got here? Repairing the Great Wall. Yeah, I don't mind these bonuses. Local defensiveness, culture in ninja becomes chibi. It is costly. It is super costly. 1.2 thousand ducats, but obviously we don't want to be losing mandates, so we're gonna go with this anyways. You know what? Because we don't want to have any additional loans, we're just going to exploit tax development in our provinces to get this money to afford this. Die Mongolistan. That's what you get, son. Great, I think we have enough war score. So we're going to break alliance with Malva, Kazan, Uzbek, and that's about it. We're not gonna push any further. And now Ladakh, I will actually conquer them. This will open up new opportunities for us. Okay, sweet. With this done, what we can do is try and get 60 loyalty for Shangbang. So first of all, we're going to complete our agenda by developing this province a couple of times. Then we will summon the diet, even though, yes, we do have 100 influence of the eunuchs, but some of these percentages come from diets that we summoned previously, so they're going to expire, and this is not going to matter later on. But we're basically going for the Shangbang diet here, and this will give us additional 10 loyalty. So what we want to do now is just wait until our loyalty goes up to 50, and as we complete this we will have 60 and get the development cost reduction, so we can actually start developing our provinces and spawn in the Renaissance, which we will need for our technologies. And there we have it, guys. So let's go ahead and develop this now. Boom, additional loyalty, and we have 10% dev cost reduction. Now we're going to use some meritocracy and get another 10%. And let's see which province we could be developing for Renaissance now. So I think for Renaissance we will be developing the province of Zhenjiang, because it is surrounded by some most developed provinces here. 25 development, 32, we have 20, 26. So if we get the Renaissance in this province, it's going to spread insanely quick to the adjacent provinces, and we can embrace it for a cheaper price. So let's go encourage development and let's start bumping this up. expand infrastructure. We're just going to be using all of our Diplo and mill points. Okay, we have this at 27. We can start using a few admin points as well now. And we have it spawned. So for now, we're going to let it spread. And as you can see, guys, 2.68 here, around 2 in every province. And of course, when it's available, we're going to establish the advancement effort edict as well. And now we can just go ahead and seize lands. And the good thing is, by developing this province, we also got quite a bit of crown land. So we're already at 41%. And it's only been 15 years into the game. And this, guys, means because we have 40%, we can complete cornerstone of an empire. We don't have 5 privileges granted to the eunuchs, and we impose restrictions on them on the eunuchs of the Ming Empire event. So we will be getting the expand palace bureaucracy decree giving us 20% advisor cost reduction. And this is the one that we just selected. So as you can see, it offers some amazing bonuses. And this is going to be the decree that we mainly use at all times. But of course, sometimes we will switch it up for something like, let's say, additional mandate growth modifier or infantry combat ability if we need it. More temples, yes please. Dude, we have a lot of temples right now as it is. Our country is going to be filled with them, as actually later on we will be going for... Now that I think about it, I was kind of hoping to go for expand temple rights because this would reduce the unrest and increase our tax modifier by quite a bit, but strengthen confusion bureaucracy probably sounds better. 10% harmonization speed, governing capacity modifier 5%, and actually harmonizing religions, improving your clergy loyalty by 100% and granting admin points is pretty OP. Let's get ourselves a flagship, boys. We can afford that. We're gonna make this a trade ship. Trade power per ship in fleet. Let's grab additional movement speed and also monthly chance of admiral skill gain. And I'm going to queue up a few more barks as well. And we're quite above our naval force limit, so we're paying attention to this at least a little bit. I'm gonna stop at 60. And we're gonna continue building more ships once we have level 7 and we can actually build some shipyards. Okay, let's force some of these rebels in. And we have 20 spy network on Gorka, so we're going to fabricate a claim because we're not going to establish a tributary here. Instead, we're going to take these provinces as this will open up a new pathway for us to continue expanding in India. And we can go belligerent Jumla for this one. Let's do it. More mandate, yes please. Now that's interesting. Our tributary state Oirat declared a war on Mongolistan with reconquest. Do they actually only have this one core and they're going for a reconquest? I wonder how much stuff they will be taking, and I hope they won't mess up the borders too much as we still want to expand this way. But I suppose we can always expand through Yarkand. So this is finished and we're just going to take all of these provinces directly. Now let's get a couple of tributaries. Kathmandu we can do, and we can also make Dang one. Yo, that's actually pretty insane. We can make Delhi a tributary diplomatically without even needing to fight them. Let's go ahead and exploit more development. This will give us quite a nice amount of money, and we're immediately going to use this to embrace Renaissance as it has spread to a few high developed provinces by now. And this means that we already have level 5 admin technology and we can pick our first idea group, which is going to be exploration. It's time to focus on Diplo points. These are going to be important to unlock the ideas. And actually I kind of want to get rid of our ruler now so we can get more mana point generation. There we go. Let's actually pick the first idea. Let's get our first explorer. And you can start exploring Eastern Indian Ocean. How about we start working a little bit on Tame China's Sorrow mission, for which we need to develop a few provinces at least 3 times. We have a bit of mill points laying around, so let's actually spend some of these. Now check this out, guys. We have 93 harmony and 20 years have passed since we last seek support of the clergy, so we can do this again. And as we're at 98, we can actually go and start harmonizing a religious group. Let's go with the pagans first. Interesting. Jaunpur is fighting Malwa, Kalpi, Afghanistan, and Multan. That's quite a few nations. Might be a good time for us to strike. There's just a couple more rebels that I want to take care of before starting a war. Let's provoke this one in calm as well. Okay, we got rid of our mercenaries. We have quite a bit of manpower, so we can probably just make a regular army now. Yeah, I'm gonna go with some regular soldiers and also get an additional banner regiment. There we go, boys. We finally have our first colonist. This is a bit too far away. I would love to get a colony over here, but we can probably increase our colonial range. First of all, let's select our policy, global settlers increase, and then let's get some new privileges. Establish new world missions. For Chingwang, let's go with expedition rights. We're gonna grab grant new world charters, and this way we can get plus 10% colonial range and a new explorer. And we can also do new world missions. Oh yes, this is the advisor that I was looking for. And we now have enough colonial range to colonize Halmahera. which will make us have a border with Taidori and Ternate, and we're going to make one of them our subject, so let's start building claims. And obviously, as this province has a couple of natives, we will be sending over a couple of our soldiers there. Let me actually get a couple of new ones, and let's get some transport ships ready for that. Okay, let's go, Jumper, you're going down, boy. Oh my god, this is an amazing air. But let's give him a proper name, shall we, boys? There we go. I'm gonna beat up these natives and let's continue colonizing more provinces. Recall our colonist and let's get one over here, surrounded by many different nations. Okay then, look at this. 5 meritocracy and 50 admin power to get +6 religious harmonization progress and reduce autonomy. Yeah, sure. Already have 14% progress with the harmonization and is estimated to be completed by 1490. Quite a long progress, isn't it? 20 years. Oh no, I didn't notice. We actually lost a battle here, that sucks. And let's get the last couple of development points in that we needed. Boom, we have Tame China's Sorrow, so we're going to get this event which will give us additional 5 mandate. Potential floods along the Yellow River will be significantly less devastating as well. There is another province that we need to develop and that is Boding. So let's encourage development, let's get some mill points in here as well, maybe some admin points. Boom, form the depots. This way, Western Bureau will be granted to Unix, which does the following. It increases our mandate growth modifier and reform progress growth, so this is really fantastic. We're nearly maxed out on the mandate, so we gotta finish this war and start passing more celestial reforms. Oh my god, this is like the 3rd or 4th time I've gotten the corruption event. We're constantly losing government reform progress, that really sucks. Dude, why the hell these guys have like 1 million soldiers here? We're going to need a good general to beat them up, and this is not a great one. Well, let's see what we can do. Maybe we can beat up Gujarat. Would love to remove them from this war. There we go, 17,000 Gujarat soldiers down and out. Maybe let's try to follow them over to one of their provinces, or we can try and beat up these guys first. Oh, he's back for more. Okay then. For our second Age of Discovery bonus, we're going with higher developed colonies as we started colonizing now. We barely managed to beat up Jaunpur. Okay, let's make this quick. We're actually overflown with mandate, which is not a great thing. Please, let's just win this battle. We need to get a Gujarat out. Before we lose this, I'm actually going to pass our second Celestial Reform. This is going to be painful because we're gonna be left with very low mandate and we're still at war, guys. But the fortunate thing is that Jaunpur is down to 11,000 soldiers, so we pretty much handle them. We still cannot get the New World Expeditions. This is going to be the 3rd one that we will get. For now, let's go with additional yearly meritocracy, and now we can take some mandate. 33 is not that bad, to be honest. Yes, please, 100 population in Zamboanga. Colonies are growing nicely over here. I really appreciate Gujarat finally leaving us alone. So this was a super long war that I'm finally ready to finish with 90% war score. Now we need to figure out what peace deal we want to take. So the main point of this war is for us to border as many nations in India. So essentially we can take a border with Orissa, Bahmanis, Malwa, and get as close as possible to Gujarat as well if we wanted to. But honestly, I probably will get a border with Gujarat through Bahmanis or even Malwa. We will see about that. Another thing we need to keep in mind is that we don't want to create a huge coalition, so we're trying to take the least developed provinces here. So this is 78 aggressive expansion. I honestly think this will work for us quite well. We're getting all 3 of the borders, so we can take 800 ducats as well. We can take war reparation. I suppose we can take this one additional province, 88, or this one to make our borders at least a little bit prettier because it's disgusting. I know it's disgusting, but that's the point of playing Ming. It's not supposed to be pretty if it works well. Now, can we concentrate at least a little bit of development? Yes, we can. That's great. We have issues with admin efficiency. I'm gonna continue exploiting development in all of the provinces. We haven't done that. We only exploited in the most highly developed ones. So this is going to help at least a little bit. Honestly, the issue is pretty much fixed. It's -1%. That's fine. That's okay. And now the question is, can we get some additional tributaries? We can make Doti one. We don't have a border with Sirmur, so we're probably not gonna get this one. Maybe Delhi or Doti will just annex them. Okay, we don't need to fight Orissa. This is a new tributary. And Malwa, they despise us, so we will need to fight these guys. Now we might be able to make some new tributaries around our colonies, and that's indeed what we're going to do. Just make everybody that is possible our tributaries. Maguindandandao as well? Sure. I'm amazing at pronouncing these names. Okay, and for our new decree, let's publish a sacred edict. This will increase our religious harmonization speed by 25%. So when is this going to be done now? 18.9. So we're saving 1 year. That's okay. There is so many rebels that are going to spawn. This is going to be annoying, but I also want to take opportunity of declaring a war on Mogulistan, who does not have any support at this time. So I'm going to grab some additional mercenaries. Let's go with the Mongol mercenaries. And basically I'm gonna have this one little stag hunting down the rebels, and with our other armies we're going to fight Mogulistan. Wait, what the hell happened? Oh my goodness. Mogulistan vassalized Timurids. No, that's insane. Okay, anyways, let's go. Also, we gotta switch some things up. We're going to request Diplo points from most of these tributaries that we established. Wow, Oirat is having a little of a problem with the rebels, you could say. That's like 50,000 rebels right here. Not like we are doing better, we also have some rebels. Oh my god, I just love losing stability. Okay, this war is done, guys, so we're not going for the gold mine actually, because we don't have enough war score to make them a tributary and also take the gold mine in the same war, and the main point is to make them a tributary. So I'm going to take these two provinces in Mogul Kobulistan, which will allow us once again to expand our opportunities and declare wars on more nations. Now guys, we can actually establish a couple of new tributaries. We can make Afghanistan one diplomatically. And yes, this is limiting our expansion in this route, but we can still fight Transoxiana, which we're yet to see. We can make Lana tributary, and we're establishing a new colony here in Katapang. So we're bordering Sambas, which is reduced to a one province minor, and we're not going to make them a tributary because this is a gold mine. We're just going to take it. It's free gold, why not? But we can make Brunei a tributary, so that's quite a big one. Why does this guy not want to be... Okay, we're actually not neighbors with Cebu, weirdly enough, because we have this colony here. There's actually 4 tributaries that we could get. Sikkim is one of them, so let's do Sikkim. Might as well. We're getting quite a bit of mandate now with these tributaries. Okay, let's fabricate a claim here. And now I actually want to do a war versus Ternate. So I'm gonna grab a couple of my finest soldiers, move them here. We have 15 transports in this navy, so that's going to be enough. And let's manage our tributaries. So some of these guys are giving us gold. Let's ask them to give us admin points. There we go. More admin points, some diplo points, manpower. And you guys please continue exploring. Wow, this is pretty good. Ming gets Era of Culture until the death of our ruler, with advisor cost minus 10% and all powers cost minus 2.5%. We could actually start our golden era if we wanted to. And I'm gonna do it shortly, right before we get level 7 admin. There we go, Ternate, you're going down. Can we make this guy a co-belligerent? Might be not too bad of an idea, because we can actually get Sambas in this way, and we don't need to get this claim done. But we will need more soldiers then. Okay, let's beat up some of these rebels first. I'm going to start provoking rebellions so we can beat this up and not worry too much about getting our lands occupied while we're dealing with these wars. There we go, we have tier 3 government reform. After all the difficulties that we had to go through, losing reform progress through various events like multiple times, we're going with the examination system, as this is actually going to be required by the examination system mission. I'm going to actually start developing a couple of our gold mine provinces now so we can get more money, and of course this way we're getting some additional crown lands. And we can also ask for a contribution from Shangbang, and this way we get a little bit of a construction cost reduction. Let's grab a couple of workshops. Some of these are giving us more than 0.5 gold, so that's pretty good. Wow, that is a great advisor. The poet Yang Shen, skill free, minus 75% cost and plus 5 mandate for us. Now we gotta get him right away. He's so cheap. Look at that, man. Level 4 costs 4 ducats. Interesting. So tribute from Lanchang, a prudent choice. Ming will receive blank from Lanchang. This game is totally not bugged after 10 years. And we're finally ready. Taidori, you're going down, and we're making everybody co-belligerent. Boom. Now we will actually need some of our ships over here. Okay, great. It's time to start the golden era. We're taking level 7 admin. Actually, instead of expansion ideas, I will be going with infrastructure so we can get the colony development boost combined with exploration. That means more development. And infrastructure is pretty much one of the ideas that are kind of designed for Ming, with movement speed, construction costs, development costs, all very necessary buffs for us. And if we're planning ahead, probably our third idea is going to be court so we can get even more yearly corruption reduction, reform progress, and even mandate growth modifier. I think in this campaign we're pretty much skipping out on all the military ideas. Maybe we'll get something like defensive later on. Okay, I'm gonna be taking one province from Kutay. Thank you very much for that. Oh, nice. Mongolia is a free nation. So we're gonna try and establish another tributary. And of course, lose stability, on and on. Typical Ming experience. It's very authentic, boys. Great, this is fantastic. I'm gonna just take these provinces off him. Very much appreciated, my dude. We are finally taking out Ternate as well. And obviously what we're doing with Ternate is releasing him as a subject. For the reason that you probably already know by now if you watch my videos, we're going to be using their mission tree. Complete the mission, defeat our rival. So they need to own Taidori, and this means they will be able to get the event The Spice Must Flow, and pretty much just follow their mission tree, continue getting that event, which will allow them to colonize a lot of provinces in the surrounding area. Let's develop Canton a couple of times. We need to expand infrastructure here and develop 4 times, so let's use milk points for that. And this actually allows us to complete expand the Bauge. The Pearl Estuary in Canton will now be expanded, and this now gives us a local trade power plus 20 instead of the regular 10, and a local governing increase cost minus 50. With one more development in our gold mine, we actually have 50% crown lands. And if we go into our decisions, we just need to get 1 stability and 100 government reform progress, and we can start reforming the administration. So we're gonna do this as soon as possible. Next up, it's time to establish some tributaries. So as we took this one province, we can establish a tributary with Barrow, and I actually don't mind this. A helping hand is going to give us great project upgrade cost minus 25%. And guys, we still have not upgraded the monument in Beijing, which is a super useful one with mandate growth modifier. So we're gonna use it to upgrade this monument as soon as we get the money. There's another tributary here, and a Bone kind of wanted to become one. What happened? Hostile attitude. Okay, so we just need to improve relations, that's fine. More mandate, yes please. We're up to 97, guys, and we can actually do another reform. Now we gotta delay the New World expeditions a little bit. This is going to be our 4th one. Because we have the examination system government reform, we can get the new Kiju formats, which will give us additional mandate growth and reform progress growth. Oh, Taidori is already colonizing. I think honestly what we can do is let him just finish this colony, and then we're going to give this province over to Ternate. So in the meantime, let's just switch our focus totally. Let's just recall this colonist. Once again, we're gonna start colonizing in other directions. Beat up the natives real quick. Let's get another exploration idea in, so this way we get 5% additional discipline with revive the 3 grand divisions, and we got 49 meritocracy. I think we can get another decree in. Maybe this time let's go for the dev cost, advisor cost, and core creation once again. This guy is too cheap for us not to make him a level 5. I got a little bit of an inflation issue. I honestly would love to get the agenda which would give us trade efficiency and monthly autonomy change reduction related to that. So we're going to try and get that. But first, let's just build a marketplace here. And can we exploit some development? Yes, we can. So we're going to do that on all of our provinces to help with our gov capacity. And also, of course, we're going to be reinvesting this money, as I previously said, to our amazing monument in Beijing. So we just need a couple more ducats for that. Actually, if we expand infrastructure, this is going to reduce the cost by 5%, and now we can do it. Great, we have a ton of manpower, so why not invest it as well? We boosted halfway already. Let's make Palembang our tributary. And I'm actually going to make Pagarjung one, I think. Now, the deal with these guys is that they also have a gold mine. Maybe we should just take it through war. Okay, so this way we would be able to fight Jambi and Malacca. And Jambi also, I would kind of like to take this province. Okay, maybe we will do a war with them then. Nice, +9 religious harmonization progress. Guys, we're actually done with this. We have our first religion harmonized. Until the end of the game, we get national unrest reduction. I think for the next one, we will be going with Theravada to stack even more advisor cost reduction. But of course, we want to wait until we have around 90. As you can see, because we started at like 98, I believe, we're down to 63. So as long as you started at around 90, you are absolutely good and you don't suffer any penalties. And guys, this is where I want to end the first part of this campaign. I have been enjoying this quite a lot. Ming is a bit stressful at times because of the constant stability losses, earthquakes, river floods, whatever, you name it. But it's a super fun nation regardless to play as if you go for this massive tributary establishment like we did here. And of course, a colonial run at the same time. As we started establishing colonies, we have a subject that will in the future colonize for us, and we will soon go towards North America as we already started exploring that way. I would absolutely love to continue this campaign, so if you guys want to see it happen, then let's get 1500 likes in the first week after this video is released. Then I will know that you do want to see it, and I will try to get it released as soon as possible. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Massive thanks to Tier 1 YouTube members Lex, MangyMinotaur, ScaldabagnoBlu, Kutay, and mickw. Tier 2 members Whale Biologist, Lazar, and RogueRhino, as well as Tier 1 Patreon supporters Lazar and Nikolas, Tier 2 supporter Bean Machine. I'm super thankful for your support.